What's up, YouTube? Here's something that's kind of interesting. This is a Volkswagen Beetle chassis that they cut up and shortened and sectioned and did all kinds of stuff to fit some of these fiberglass dune buggy bodies. The Meyers Manx ones are a big name, but this is not that. This is its own thing from Brazil. So this was imported from Brazil. And this is really stretching my brain on how to deal with something like this. So first of all, what in the hell is this bubblegum weld? So this is already back from sandblasting. And so we're looking at kind of the raw deal here. Can't hide nothing. Oh yeah. Ooh, buddy, look at them welds. What on earth are we gonna do with this? Like, how much do you charge to clean this thing up, make another side? And what does that even mean? On one end of the spectrum, you're like, throw that thing in the garbage. What is this pile of crap? But on the other end of the spectrum, check this out. This local shop over here that does exquisite Porsches. That's not what this is, but that's the other end of the spectrum. So check this out. This is Deluxe Customs in Tempe, Arizona. I am so grateful to have been at this open house. These cars are absolutely stunning. The shop is immaculate. What a place to look up to. This is amazing. Here's one that's finished. Look at this thing. Look at the paint. Look at the quality of work. Oh look, it's for sale. And the price reflects it. This one's on the more modern end of the spectrum, but still, look at the quality of this build. Here we're in their paint booth, and just phenomenal finish on this car. And if you notice, here's something interesting. Here's the carbon fiber parts that they make in-house. This is wild. And here they're showing you the molds and how they did it, plugs. So on one hand you could say, oh, these are museum cars, this really doesn't apply. But look at the before pictures of this car, and then look how it turned out. These are the same cars. If you've ever dealt with a car from the 50s, 60s, especially these Volkswagen cars, this is what you have to deal with. The difference between some of these Porsches and our chassis is that the Porsches are worth throwing all kinds of money into. The dune buggy stuff is meant to be fun, and it was meant to be abused. Nobody ever took any kind of care at this level. And even moving forward, we have to ask ourselves, how much effort do we want to put in even now? And just to wrap this up, when somebody says hold yourself to a higher standard, man, look at this. To me, this is what they mean. I just want to close them with a quote from their website saying, "We will go as far as the customer will let us go." I love that line. Alright, so back to our project. This is a Brazilian import, kind of like a Meyers Manx, fiberglass body on Volkswagen frame. But this thing is pretty cool. It's got pretty much all the original stuff. Big balloon tires. It's lower, it's sleeker. This thing's got the style. But more importantly, this is really rare. I can't even find any information to share on it. So I think it's worth saving. Here's another chassis, a similar chassis off of Manx. Let's take a look at it. Try to assess how much time we should spend on what's visible, what's structural, what is the body cover, so what will show. Really just trying to orient ourselves into what is this thing and how do we deal with it? How much effort should we put into it? At what level should we take it to? One important distinction between this one and the Manx's is that this one has a full fiberglass floor. That's why the pans are cut out on the one we're working on. So we don't have to spend too much time on that. And considering these tail pieces hold up the motor, I think we should start here. So let's peel off everything that they tried to weld onto it and see where we're at. It was tricky trying to grind off their welds without really trying to compromise the thin sheet metal underneath. But we got some of the supports off. I don't know why, but there's these giant holes in there, and you have to consider that these dune buggies were marketed as beach cruisers. So they're full of sand, and that sand is going to hold moisture. And considering these are a key structural piece, we need clean metal, so we got to get everything out. So the first thing I did was just fill it full of solvent and light it on fire and let it burn. We got to let this thing dry out. After a quick cleanup, we'll get out the laser level, get everything bent straight, and start seaming up some of these gaps just so everything doesn't move around. And then we can start grinding off their welds, but being careful not to remove the underlying structure. So that's what all these witness marks are. Here's the glimpse into the metal finishing process. If there's a hole, just fill it. And then after the first grind, you'll see a ring where the metal pulled, so you can turn the heat way down, fill that. You could do your final block in sand. Again, the key is not to remove the structure, it's just to fill the hole. You don't want to bake the metal, be easy, take your time. And with a little bit of patience and practice, repeat that for the next 1,000 defects on this frame and you'll be all set. Here's what it looks like with the top side done. Now we'll flip it over, attack the bottom side, and just keep going. And hey, just in case you forgot what it used to look like, let's rewind. It's like 9 p.m., it's super hot, but the top side is done, and that's the important side structurally. Remade all the pieces that were missing. These upper mounts here, had to remake another one, welded on. I'm pretty sure those are cast. And you know, when they made this, they didn't have the technology to be welding on cast iron with any kind of precision, so we went over those, doubled them up, re-welded some of the stuff that was broke. We peeled off all the bullshit on this stuff here, cleaned it up, took all the reinforcing plates off and cut them back flat so it looks factory pinch welds and everything. Your OCD or whatever, you just want to address every single weld on this, but at the end of the day, you can only do what the customer wants to pay for, and realistically, it's a dune buggy anyway. It's been like this since the 70s, and so that's just what it is. But it's super interesting, you know, you're like, what are all these welds, and why was there so much sectioning going on? Like all this sort of origami stuff, you know, like they cut the front to get the length right and wanted the shifter and the e-brake to be in a certain spot, so they cut that and move it forward. And then this whole upper piece they cut off, and it's from a different car because these cast iron brackets with this curve, or with this twisted shock mount and bump pad, is for the swing arm model. And so you can see where they took this whole rear section off the swing arm model, cut all that off, and then had to kind of graft all of this back in. We were wondering why they cut this, because this length didn't change, but it was so that they could keep these threaded bungs and replace this whole top, or the whole bottom section of the axle, whichever came first. But you know, they're not the best welds, but you know, I mean, it's better than what's on there now. Well, there it is, a little piece of the daily life. Big news, we've been doing this for a full year now. I'm gonna close out season 1 with this episode. Thank you everybody for coming along with the journey. I hope this little micro project was something cool providing bigger context. Let me know in the comments what you think. More fab, more story, less talk, shut the fuck up. Don't be afraid to tell us what you don't like too. Till the next one, we'll see you.